Welcome back, everybody. It's Aaron and Ray here with Franchise Tag Fantasy Football. We got some good news for you guys. We are now officially on Spotify and Apple Podcast.
Ain't that something?
Which is pretty great, if I'm being honest. It took a while to kind of hope and pray and figure out that it would work, but it did. It worked. First episode is out on both of those platforms. It is going to take some figuring out with your guys' feedback on like audio stuff and things like that, because we've never really done that before. But yeah, that's what happened.
Aaron.
Yes.
Why do you sound so sensual right now?
What do you mean?
You're like talking to me like I'm on some sort of jazz flute or something. You're giving me a lot of sensuality vibes.
I'm sorry. I will stop.
I cannot stop looking at the armpit that is your face right now.
That's not an armpit, bro.
It looks like I'm talking into an armpit.
But it's not. I don't know why you think that it is, man. I don't know.
Crazy.
Do you have a quick question of the day?
I always do, Aaron. I always want to know things about you.
Okay.
So
what is it?
this one's you're gonna have to delve into that little brain sack of yours. What I want you to do is I want you to put yourself back into elementary school, right? What was the go-to lunch that you were really looking forward to? That one thing that you were like, man, what was that? What's the best thing that you had when you were in elementary school?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
School lunch or sack lunch brought from home?
School lunch, not sack lunch.
Dog. Probably that square pizza.
You know, I feel like that's like everybody's go-to, but you know what? We had this thing. It was like this turkey mashed potato looking thing. It probably looked pretty gross, but my God, was it good. I think about it all the time. I'm sitting there like in my work van or something like that. I'm thinking, man, I could go for some turkey mashed potato right now.
You know what's crazy? The one thing I miss from being in the dorms in the Air Force. Do you know what it is? Chicken cordon bleu.
Dude, see, the only time that I was in the dorms, I had Biohazard as an option for food in Area 2.
Stop.
Hey,
you lived in the broke side of town. Poor people lived over there.
I brought my superintendent. If Sergeant Verdugo, if you're watching, remember that time where you chipped your tooth coming to Area 2's DFAC? Remember that? If you're watching out there, I hope that you comment. Because he was talking all this mess saying, oh, the DFAC isn't that bad. And then I was like, all right, come on over. Let's take a look. And he got an uncooked hot dog.
Oh my God.
Some broken rice, like some hard rice. Yeah. And I think his chicken was like undercooked. It was perfect. It was a perfect time. Perfect time. But yeah, it was a turkey and mashed potato for me. But that pizza, close second. Pizza was the bee's knees.
Pizza was pretty good. All right, Ray, so I got a surprise for you. Guys.
Sure.
Ray doesn't know what we're going to do for the first portion of this show.
I usually don't
figured to celebrate for the Apple and Spotify podcast, we would do a surprise Ray segment. So, do you remember last year when we did divisional breakdowns and we gave projections of who's going to finish where in what division?
Yeah, I remember that.
I have crunched the numbers and done the math on overall records that we predicted, how many we got right out of the 32 NFL teams, and overall divisions, just correct in standing order of who we got right.
See why it took you so long? That makes sense now. Now it's making sense.
Would you like to dive into this?
I'd love to know. How poorly I did.
All right, so we're starting off in the AFC East, okay? You had the Bills going 13-4, and I had them going 12-5. The Bills actually went 11-6. Pats 9-8 from you, 8-9 from me. They went 10-7. Dolphins 8-9 from you, 9-8. They went 9-8. And Jets, we were both right. They went 14-13, and that's what we predicted. We got all four of those in that division correct. In the
4-13.
Correct standing order. Yeah, that's what I meant. Did I say 13-4?
Pretty good. You can't get the record right, but at least I got the standing right.
Yeah. AFC West. Chiefs, 14-3 from you, 13-4 from me. They went 12-5. I'm probably not going to do this for all of these.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. This is a lot.
No. So it went Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, Broncos. We got one right in that division, both apiece, and it was the Chiefs. We both had Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders. So the last, we got, basically the last three teams screwed us. AFC South. I will say your AJ Brown take was off, but the Titans, you picked 12-5 and they went 12-5. I had them at 11-6, but anyways, it went Titans, Colts, Jags, Texans. We got two. We got the Jags and the Texans wrong. We both had Titans and Colts 1 and 2. The AFC North. Whew, this division doesn't like us. We got 0. Big whiff. We got 0.
Big whiff.
We both had. You had Browns, Ravens, Bengals, Steelers. I had Browns, Ravens, Steelers, Bengals. It went Bengals, Steelers, Browns, Ravens. So yeah. Then the NFC East. We got one right in this one. We had the Cowboys correct at the top of the division. They went 12-5, followed by the Eagles at 9-8. Then the Commanders at 7-10, and the Giants at 14-13. Or 4-13, excuse me.
We got one right in that one?
Yeah, you had Cowboys, Commanders, Giants, Eagles. You had the Eagles 1-6.
All right, because Jalen Hurts sucks.
Stop it. I had Cowboys, Commanders, Giants, Eagles. I only had them at 3. Into the NFC West, you had Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, Niners. I had Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, Niners. And it went Rams, Cardinals, Niners, Seahawks. We got 2 right in that one. NFC North. We both had Packers at 13-4. They went 13-4. Then we both had the Vikings. Then we both had I lied. You had the Bears. I had the Lions. Then you had the Lions. I had the Bears. And it actually finished Packers, Vikings, Bears, Lions. And you had 4. I had 3 in that division. NFC South. We got 2 out of this one. Bucks finished number 1 overall. We both had that. Saints finished number 2 overall. We both had that. Then it was the Falcons, and then the Panthers. We both had the Panthers finishing above the Falcons. So, out of all 32 teams in the divisions, you had 16 of them correct. 50%.
Batting 500.
I had 15. As far as overall records go, out of the 32 teams for overall records, you were 4 out of 32. I was 7 out of 32.
Woof.
Overall records is tough, dude.
Yeah, it's not good. Maybe we stay away from that one. Let's pump the brakes on the overall record.
I was gonna go and we were gonna go ahead and do just the top 12 fantasy wide receivers today to see, but I figured that would probably take way too long.
Yeah, maybe the next one. Let's go delve into like what we actually had for our position rankings in the next few episodes. Let's do that.
We're gonna probably do that.
Yeah. Little inside scoop.
Little inside scoop, huh?
Yeah.
Little scoop.
Anyways,
of the inside.
So, are we gonna be doing a 12-team mock draft?
Sorry, my dog's down here trying to get its head in my lap. Are we gonna be doing a 12-team mock draft today?
Yep.
Do you want to? I'm just kidding. Yes, we're doing a 12-team mock draft.
So yeah, I'd like to do that. Yes, please.
We are doing a 12-team mock draft. It is going to be 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end, and 1 flex. It will be half point as well, I think. Give me just 1 second. I'll transition over to it, and we'll get set up and go.
Look, if I'm ever going to do like a full point, it would be in a 12-man league. I think that it just opens things up so much more.
It might be
so much less of what you have.
I can't really. Oh, it is full point. I'm sorry. We set this up last time beforehand, and I forgot. Oh, we're
riveting again.
Yeah, riveting stuff.
I'm ready to roll into this when you are, Aaron.
If you hear someone in the background, don't freak out.
Hey, just go ahead. Just go and drop it in the comment section what you think about the mustache that Aaron's rocking, and 2, the ghosts that are actually in Aaron's house.
Just drop it in there. Drop it.
Because I'd like to know. I from what I'm seeing right now, it looks haunted.
It's not a ghost. All right, are you ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
Are you sure you're ready?
100% ready.
Okay. And so, like always, we've randomized the draft orders. Ray got the 5 hole, and I got the 7 hole. So up first was Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, Najee Harris. Now Ray's on the clock. Who are you taking, Ray?
Well, You already went through Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, Najee Harris. I know that you just went through that, but I had to read it out loud just so that my brain would get involved. I have Derrick Henry on the board, and that's a pretty slam dunk pick for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Derrick Henry here.
You're going to go Derrick Henry right there? Okay, then Justin Jefferson goes number one overall off the board.
Number one overall receiver.
Yeah, thank you. At the 7 hole, I know you guys can't see on the screen who the actual listing is, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to go Cooper Kupp. Then Jamar Chase, then Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, Devontae Adams, Travis Kelce, in round 2, DeAndre Swift, Nick Chubb, Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, Josh Allen. Now I'm back up again.
What are you thinking right now?
Nothing's good here. I don't know. I thought about trying to go 0 RB. Don't really want to take a tight end. Definitely don't want to take a quarterback.
To be honest with you, the People's Champ A.J. Brown is still on the board. If you'd like to take a shot.
If you say the
like a
People's
title
Champ
shot
one more time, I'm going to punch you in the face. I will do the strategy that you didn't do last time, and I will go straight up 0 RB.
Tyreek Hill?
In this one, yep. Even though you can get Jalen Waddle in like the 4th round for, I think, better value, it's going to take him there.
Yeah, so right after you, because we got a team in between us, a pesky team. Mark Andrews went, and then it is indeed my turn. Crazy. Mark Andrews' ADP is just so high. So high. So since you went receiver, I'm kind of looking right now, and I like...
Do it.
I like Saquon Barkley. I like him.
Do it.
I like him, so I'm going to do it.
Okay. Just do it.
I'm going to take my shot. Why not?
Then Alvin Kamara. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Go ahead.
Right after me, Alvin Kamara went. A.J. Brown, again, People's Champ. Deebo Samuel, Aaron Jones, which I was kind of hoping would make it back to me all the way to the 3rd, but I didn't think it was going to happen. Leonard Fournette, way too high for Leonard Fournette, in my opinion.
Stop.
Mike Evans, Kyle Pitts, Javonte Williams, again, still really high, because he's still going to be splitting carries with Melvin Gordon, right?
Is he though?
Right?
I don't know.
I feel like the 3-4 is so high, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Zeke is still here in the 3rd round again. Do I go triple RB? Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Are you going to?
No, because we do have a three receiver. This is a 3 receiver draft, so
I call this a receiver premium league.
Yeah, and I do like the fact that you've already shored that position up on your team, really. So I'm going to go ahead and take T. Higgy as my.
Oh, did you really? That was not what I was expecting. I was totally expecting Keenan Allen right there.
Take T. Higgy.
You definitely got me on the surprise there. Then Zeke went, and honestly, if this team would have taken Keenan Allen, I was going to take Zeke. I was good with either one of those. But because they didn't, now I'm just going to go ahead and sure up my 3rd receiver spot with Keenan Allen in the 3rd round. Then James Conner went, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, David Montgomery, Deontay Johnson, Cam Akers in the 4th, Jalen Waddle in the 4th, which I told you is a better value in my opinion than Tyreek Hill. Michael Pittman Jr., Breece Hall, and Antonio Gibson. I am back on the clock, and here I am looking at.
Before you go
ahead.
Do you think that Antonio Gibson's ADP is going to climb a little bit, or do you think that it's just going to continue to fall? Because
I think it's going to continue to fall.
At the 4, 5, and a 12 man, that's pretty far down. Considering he still is the starting running back out there. But
I think it will continue to fall a little, man.
Has he ever really shown the value? Or has he just burned a lot of people?
He's finished a top 12 running back his first 2 years in the league at number 10. I think number 12 and number 12, or number 10 and number 12. I can't remember. It's not like he hasn't been there. Everyone just gets upset because they just remember that J.D. McKissick is
catching passes. All of them.
Yeah, taking all the work.
Yeah. All the valuable work. So where are you going here, Aaron?
I don't know, man. I'm leaning. Do I take some form of running back now just because there aren't any going to be left? Or do I just roll the dice and see what I get later?
Still on the board is Travis Etienne, Josh Jacobs, J.K. Dobbins, and Elijah Mitchell. I like Elijah Mitchell probably the most out of all of these running backs, but then I mean, the upside of Travis Etienne, James Robinson isn't going to be ready for at least 6 to 8 weeks. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I would not be drafting Josh Jacobs, though. No thanks.
So we're in the middle of the round, right? So there's a crapshoot that certain people will come back to you, but I don't think this guy will come back to me. I'm going to take DJ Moore here. I'm going to call my shot on my guy.
First time I got snaked. Right after you, Jerry Jeudy went, I was going to take Jerry Jeudy there. Am I really going to go Terry McLaurin again?
Probably.
Is it really going to happen?
Yep. Just do it.
No.
Okay, don't do it.
No, I don't think I will.
Then don't. Just pick what you want to pick.
I'm gonna go Cortland Sutton again, and I'm gonna hope that one falls back to me.
Okay.
After me, Darren Waller went, Terry McLaurin, Travis Etienne, George Kittle, Joe Burrow, kind of early, DK Metcalf, Josh Jacobs, Amari Cooper, and Mike Williams did fall back to me.
Hey, that's a good one. That is a good one.
Perfect.
That honestly, your start of your draft isn't bad. I kind of like it.
I like what I was really hoping that Mike Williams fell back to me, because now I have some assurity in T. Higgins and Cortland Sutton, and then I have the boom or bust, mostly bust, but sometimes when that boom hits, ooh, baby. Oh, baby.
I feel you.
Chris Godwin went right after me, and I think that's way too early because he's not going to be ready for 6 weeks guaranteed.
I agree. I'm going to do what I did last draft again, just because it happened to fall this way again. I'm going to take Marquise Brown right here in the 5th round. He's going to be the number 1 target for Kyler Murray for the first 6 weeks of football. And I know we didn't talk about it, but Kyler Murray just signed a 5-year, $230.5 million extension. So I'm taking that.
So just to ask you a real quick question.
Yes.
Do you know that running backs are in the league or no?
Yeah, I do, but 0 RB and these wide receivers are coming back valuable, boy. Anyways, after me, J.K. Dobbins went, Elijah Mitchell went, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Lamar Jackson, Allen Robinson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, T.J. Hawkinson, Damian Harris, who I was really hoping would fall back to me as my first running back in the 6th round, Dalton Schultz, and then Michael Thomas went. I'm back on the clock here. I could completely just keep punting this position and go and get that stack with Kyler Murray, which I know you were talking about last time, but because of the situation, the way my team is built right now, Brandon Cooks is looking real hot, but I'm not going to take him because I got 5 wide receivers, 3 wide receiver premium, only 1 flex. So therefore, one of these guys are going to ride the bench anyways, but I got a little bit of options with that. So I'm going to take my first running back, and it is going to be Miles Sanders.
I figured it was Miles Sanders. And in all honesty, if Damian Harris was on the board and you got back up on the clock, I would have been stunned if he didn't. Stunned. Darnell Mooney went between us.
Go ahead.
Darnell Mooney went between us. And now we're looking at A.J. Dillon still on the board, Kareem Hunt, Cordell Patterson. I don't think that's a real valuable pick where I'm at right now. Definitely would like to have another receiver. And it sucks that DeAndre Hopkins is still there teasing me.
I think it's too early right here for DeAndre Hopkins.
I think it is kind of early, especially because you know that he's not going to be around for 6 weeks. I do like Adam Thielen. I do like Brandon Cooks, but that's a toughie. That's a toughie. Maybe I'll just go with Adam Thielen and see if there's anything left in the tank.
Maybe.
So after I took Adam Thielen, Kyler Murray went. Ken Walker again. It's just going so high. It's ridiculous. Juju Smith-Schuster, Brandon Cooks, DeAndre Hopkins went at the beginning of the 7th round. If he would have fell to me here at 7.5, I would have done it. I would have taken it. There's just no way that value doesn't get returned. A.J. Dillon goes after him, Jalen Hurts, Drake London, and now I'm back on the clock. Now with a slight, I guess, not really in a QB run, but really all of the top-tier quarterbacks are essentially gone at this point. So I'm willing to kind of just wait on that, not really make a move there. I definitely like Rashad Bateman still this late. I like that. He's basically going to be the number 2 target for Lamar Jackson.
Sorry,
I also like the fact that Cordell Patterson is still there.
Yep.
It just sucks that, just so you guys are aware, Sleeper did change his availability from receiver and running back to just running back now. So
I think most
that does.
platforms did that this year.
Oh yeah, I was just using Sleeper because we use Sleeper, but I do think most platforms did, which kind of sucks because it caps. I think his valuableness, is that a word? Valuable? Is valuableness a word?
His value.
Sure, his value. We need like a thesaurus guy, a thesaurus fella. I do like Tony Pollard though.
Yeah.
This is where you call your shot. Tony
Take
Pollard
you some
being the
Tony
guy.
Pollard.
But I'm gonna go with Kareem Hunt.
I don't like you right now. Anyways, Russell Wilson went between me and him, and Ray just totally took my pick of Kareem Hunt. So now I'm looking at running backs. I think I can get away now with not taking one for a quick minute. I'm trying to browse the average ADP here. So with that being said, Ray,
Walk us through your thought process.
you big guy, you big nice fella.
What do you
I
think?
still need a tight end. I'm good on receiver. I need running back. I need quarterback. I don't really have any quarterbacks that I could stack with who I have right now because most of my quarterbacks are going, except for maybe Matt Stafford, going in the early rounds. But he'll fall a little bit later. Tight ends. Dallas Goedert's still here, but I don't really know if I want him and Miles Sanders back to back on the same team.
I wouldn't do that.
You know, it doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to take the inevitable, hopefully, upside of Rashad Bateman and just add another wide receiver. Best available for the position that I need because I'm not going to reach a round and a half to pick someone.
Yeah, I agree with that pick. I like that pick.
Then after me goes Treylon Burks, Gabe Davis. He was there too. I didn't really want to reach for him though. Hunter Renfrow, Devonta Smith, Elijah Moore, Dak Prescott, Cordell Patterson, Devin Singletary, Tyler Lockett, and Tony Pollard. I'm back on the clock now, so now it makes a little bit more sense for me. And I don't think he'll come back to me this time, so I am going to take Rashad Penny this time. And then Chase Edmonds goes between me and you, just because I need another running back.
I really wish that Chase Edmonds would have fell to me. I would have taken him right there, but since he didn't, I really like Chris Olave. I think that he's going to have a really nice role in New Orleans, especially because they're not going to have Alvin Kamara for a brief stint of time in the beginning of the season. I still don't know where the suspension is, but it's going to be a suspension for sure. You don't get to beat a man half to death and not miss some games. So I'm going to go ahead and take Chris Olave.
Okay. Why?
And then right after Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson went. Brandon Ayuk, which I was torn between Brandon Ayuk and Chris Olave. Thomas Jamal Brady, Robert Woods, James. I'm sorry. I was about to say Jared Cook. I'm like, he's still in the NFL in a way. James Cook, Dawson Knox, Russell Gage, which is kind of high, Dallas Goedert, and I am back on the clock. Kind of high. And I think that I should be able to kind of wait on quarterback here because a lot of teams do have quarterbacks.
You know, a lot of these teams
like to have two quarterbacks, so that's the thing. So it's pretty tough to not take one here, but I can't pass up the value that Pat Freiermuth is going to give me at this position. So I'm going to take Pat Freiermuth.
Taking Pat Freiermuth? All right. And then right after you goes Zach Ertz. Now I'm on the clock here. You know, you talked about a lot of teams already having quarterbacks. It is, unfortunately, I'll scroll up so you guys can see. It is, unfortunately, sleeper. It is, unfortunately, a mock draft. So, therefore, we know multiple teams are going to take two quarterbacks that happen to be in the top 12. But I need another running back, so I'm going Melvin Gordon here. Then Aaron Rodgers goes, then Matt Stafford goes back to back, like we just talked about. Teams that don't necessarily need quarterbacks take two quarterbacks in the top 12. If you are in a home league draft, do not do that. You are capping your upside. You're only going to be able to play one of them.
Oh, it looks like we have a cameo. So
I've switched the screens.
Right after Matt Stafford went, Mike Gesicki went, Chase Claypool went, Christian Kirk, which Christian Kirk has to fall to the very end of the draft for me to want a piece of that. Ramondre Stevenson, which I do like. Trey Lance, Alan Lazard, Christian Watson, back to back. Sky Moore, and now you are back on the clock, Aaron.
So it's
What do you
really
think?
hurting because I really wanted Matt Stafford to fall to me, but because Team 9 stinks, they took a second quarterback. So at this point in time, man, I mean, honestly, dude, quarterbacks are few and far between. So I at least want to lock up a guy that I think is going to make something happen, at least for the first couple weeks of the season. And I'm going to take Kirk Cousins. I think the new offense that they're going to run there is going to be great. He does have Justin Jefferson, still does have Adam Thielen still, even though we don't really know what he's going to be. But I'm going to go ahead and just at least lock up my quarterback here so I don't have to necessarily stress about that position.
Well, right between us, Michael Carter went, and boy, am I staring down the ugliest choices at quarter. I was really hoping Trey Lance would have fell back to me because I'm like, had he been able to make it back, I would have rolled with Trey Lance just because of his rushing upside. But I'm looking at one of the most disgusting, gross, horrible decisions of my life. And I think I'm going to have to do it because I don't want to end up with the Trevor Lawrences and Justin Fields of the world. Now, again, because Sleeper doesn't stop the computer from taking multiple quarterbacks in random spots, it's like the one thing that they do in this draft that I just don't particularly care for. I'm going to go ahead and take Derek Carr.
Jesus, you went old school. David Carr.
Disgusting.
Then Kadarius Toney went, James Robinson, Isaiah Spiller, Cole Kmet. That's who I was hoping my tight end would fall back to me. But Team 1 clearly wants 2 tight ends as well as only 1 quarterback. I'm proud of him. Ronald Jones, Jamal Williams, Michael Gallup. Is that Jamal Williams? That's not Jamal Williams.
It is Jamal Williams.
Is it?
Oh, no, that's Jamison Williams. Sorry.
Excuse me. Jamison Williams, Michael Gallup. That's going to be tough. Alexander Madison, and then Ray's back on the clock.
Jamison Williams kind of returns value right there at the end of the season, if you think about it.
A little bit.
So I'm looking down the barrel of the gun here. Not liking what I'm seeing again. The end of these drafts is just so gross. So gross. Dameon Pierce is still on the board. Do you really think that Marlon Mack is going to be holding that job for very long?
I don't know. We'll have to see how he is. Off the second year off the Achilles.
That is the thing, right? Yeah. But because there's so many running backs in Houston right now, and because Houston's probably going to be booty cheeks, I kind of don't want the running back for Houston. I'm not interested.
Okay.
How many scripts are they going to be in where they're going to actually be able to run the ball very much? So we're in call your shot territory. I like Devontae Parker and the fact that he's going to be the number 1 receiver in that offense.
Okay.
Maybe Mac Jones takes a step, and I got something in Devontae Parker, or I don't.
Okay. All right. And then Dameon Pierce goes. Here I am, staring down the barrel of a gun as well. Call your shot season, right? Isn't that what you said?
That's what it is. That's what it is. Take us through your thought process there.
I just don't know, man. I'm kind of stumped. Tyler Boyd's still on the board. I think he'll be an okay wide receiver 3. Naeem Hines is still there. I still kind of need at least one more running back, but I don't know where I'm going to get them from. If we're being honest,
the waiver wire.
I was about to say, if we're being honest here, I still need a tight end. So those are my 2 main needs. So I'm just gonna go ahead right here, and I'm gonna take Irv Smith to stack with Kirk Cousins. Like I said, I think that passing offense is gonna be a lot better this year now that Mike Zimmer's out of there. So that's who I'm gonna take as tight end. Then Jarvis Landry goes, Naeem Hines goes, Hunter Henry goes, Marquez Valdez-Scantling goes, Tua Tagovailoa goes, Tyler Boyd, Albert O, Marlon Mack. Is that the rookie though? Rookie from Tampa Bay,
yes,
White.
Rashard White.
Thank you, Rashard White. Daryl Henderson goes next, and I'm back on the clock here. I'm half tempted to take Deshaun Watson right here. I'm just kidding. I won't do that to you.
I'm right now for people at home. I'm assuming that Deshaun Watson's going to have a full season suspension. Yep. I'm drafting
I'm drafting as such as well.
Yeah, I'm drafting Cleveland offense as such. why Njoku is kind of eye-opening at the end of this draft. If you didn't have a tight end, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But does that mean that Jacoby Brissett's going to be passing to Njoku a lot? I don't know. That's kind of why I took Kareem Hunt where he's at, because I think they're going to be down in game scripts, and he's going to have to catch a lot of passes.
Yeah, that's where I want him. I'm taking Tim Patrick right here, one of the Denver wide receivers. I at least want one part of that offense, and if it's late in the rounds like it is right now, and he turns out to, potentially be a top 36 fantasy wide receiver, that helps me out a lot.
I like that pick.
Next goes Deshaun Watson between myself and Ray, who we just had a conversation about.
Yeah, I figured he was going to. Taking a look at who's still left, I do like the fact that Jamison Crowder is still on the board. In fact, that's probably who I'm going to end up taking.
I like that.
Because Cole Beasley had, 15 to 19% of that target share, and he's gone. Somebody's got to catch those balls. And I think Jamison Crowder is a better slot receiver than what the current condition of Cole Beasley is.
Yeah.
Just an idea. Kenneth Gainwell's still there too.
I have Miles Sanders. I don't want that.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there like an idea of what I'm looking at here.
JD McKissick's still out there.
I'm not taking JD McKissick. Sammy Watkins, if you want the one-game wonder for the first game of the season, he's there. He'll win you the week. But then he'll disappear for the rest of the season. So I'm going to go Jamison Crowder. Okay. And then right after me, Rondale Moore went. Justin Fields, which is, I think, still too high because they're doing nothing to help him. Tyler Algier, Jahan Dotson, Trevor Lawrence, Kenny Galladay, Jacoby Myers,
George Pickens.
I couldn't remember his first name.
I do that too. Don't worry.
Now I'm back on the clock again. Okay. So I'm looking right now. If you're wondering what I'm looking at, I have a second laptop here. That's why I'm not making eye contact with you guys. So, Mark Ingram's going to have a role for a little bit.
Yeah.
Is it a good role? No. Brian Robinson is the reason, I think, more than Antonio Gibson's lack of production or lack of pass catching. I think Brian Robinson is the reason why he's falling so much, is because the news out of camp is that he's taking work, and then obviously J.D. McKissick there to catch 8 passes a game from Carson Wentz. It's pretty tough, but I like Kenneth Gainwell more. It's a question. I don't.
That's a question.
I don't.
You didn't word that very well for a question.
I'm lying to myself.
Why?
I just don't particularly care. I'm going to go Darrell Williams.
Okay.
Hoping that he's the pass catching back in Arizona.
Okay. Then Kenneth Gainwell goes between you and Darrell Williams. I am going to take J.D. McKissick strictly because I need a running back that can cover bye weeks.
Okay.
And like you said, if it's full point PPR, and if he does catch 6 to 8 passes a game from Carson Wentz, you're good there. You know what I mean?
Okay. After J.D. McKissick went, Noah Fant, DJ Chark, Matt Ryan, Khalil Herbert, again, way too high. I don't like that. I wouldn't even draft him. David Njoku, McCole Hardman, which might be nice. I mean, he's the only returning piece in Kansas City, right?
Yeah, might be.
In that receiving core that has rapport with Patrick Mahomes. Mark Ingram, I don't know who that is at all.
Ruben, who is this player?
Rube, can you drop in the comments? Who is Davis Price from? He's a running back for San Francisco. I don't even know who he is. Gerald Everett, Tyler Higbee, and you're back on the clock here for the last.
And I'm going to take Gus Edwards with my last pick here.
Okay.
I think that's a pretty good little shout in the 14th round for someone who is maybe not. We haven't seen enough of J.K. Dobbins to know, but just as good as could potentially be just as good as J.K. Dobbins. And coming off the same style injury, they should be back roughly around the same time, a couple weeks apart. But that's why I'm taking him to lock up my running back core.
Okay. Well, since it's the last pick of the draft, and I can ascertain real quick how involved Sammy Watkins is going to be.
You'll take
Sammy
him?
Watkins is going to be my last pick because I got to have a piece of the Packers offense somewhere, right?
Yeah. So in between me and Ray went Jalen Tolbert, and then from Dallas. Then he took Sammy Watkins, Jameis Winston went, Robert Tonyan went, Mac Jones went, and then is that Alec Pierce? I believe that's who that is.
Yes,
They
Alex
went.
Pierce.
Yeah,
Alex Pierce.
thank you. So needless to say,
That's it. That's
that
the draft.
that is the draft.
I feel a
Ray,
lot better about this team than my last team,
do
except
you
for Derek Carr.
want to recap your team?
Sure. So I went Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley to be my running back 1 and 2. Really putting a lot of faith in Saquon Barkley staying healthy. Kareem Hunt as my alternate running back in case, which I think is pretty valuable. Darrell Williams at the very end of the draft, too. And then my receiving core is looking like T. Higgins, Cortland Sutton, Mike Williams, Adam Thielen, Chris Olave, Devontae Parker, and Jamison Crowder with Sammy Watkins at the very end of the draft. My tight end is Pat Freiermuth, and then my quarterback's Derek Carr.
Word. I went Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Marquise Brown, Rashad Bateman, and Tim Patrick for my wide receivers. I went Miles Sanders, Rashad Penny, Melvin Gordon, J.D. McKissick, Gus Edward for my running backs. I went Kirk Cousins for my quarterback and Irv Smith Jr. for my tight end. I did go a 0 RB strategy and did not take my first running back, Miles Sanders, until the 6th round. It's a little rough there towards the back half, especially when you're looking for strictly trying to find your running backs that you're going to need.
I don't know. It looks bad though.
Doesn't look bad. I don't know if I would recommend it from somewhere in the middle. I mean, I could have taken Saquon, I could have taken Kamara, I could have taken Aaron Jones. Like I didn't have to do what I did in the middle because you still had options. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree. I think that where you were at, if you're trying to force a no RB look, it could be detrimental. But if you're kind of going with the flow, if you were at the back end of that and you're staring down a lot of running backs that went in the first round, then I think it's a viable strategy. But in all honesty, the way that it panned out for your team, I do like the fact that you have Miles Sanders, Rashad Penny, and Melvin Gordon. So one of those guys is going to be a running back too. One of them.
Yep.
Probably Melvin Gordon.
Probably. Probably. He'll probably vulture. So that was our mock draft, guys. As always, please be sure to tell us who you think won the overall mock draft, even if it's one of the auto drafted teams, which I'm going to guess a lot of y'all will say no because they drafted 2 of the onesie positions, either a tight end or a quarterback. But anyways, to reiterate, we are now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We will post the podcast links straight to the podcast in the description of the YouTube video. And then we've kind of talked about this, Ray, but we should probably get voter input. We've talked about transitioning away from doing so much YouTube content and doing more of just the podcast style content, because the feedback that I've gotten, I know you've gotten some of the same feedback, is that unless you pay for YouTube Premium, you can't lock your phone, or when you're driving, you have to have it open where you can't just play it, set your phone down, let it play through your speaker and do whatever. You have to skip the ads and all that stuff. So more to come on that. Tell us what you guys think. You got anything else, Ray?
No, just really, if you guys want us to cover anything, any kind of mock draft you guys want to do from your own home league, you got some questions about the upcoming season, we're going to be going into more news as soon as training camp actually starts, but hasn't started yet. And if any sort of feedback you guys can leave, drop it in the comments, send us a text, whatever you guys want to do, carrier pigeon, I don't know. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. All right, guys. Till later. We'll see you next time.